What's up, guys? It's Wazi here. I know it's been a while. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing good because I am. And today we're going to rant about Apple. Yeah, I do not care who they are. That's why I'm just going to ramble about them. So let's just get into it. So to begin with, Apple has messed up all the phones they've released since 2017 till date, and I mean the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8, the iPhone 10, and whatever, the X series, and then the 11 and its brothers, and they just messed up the whole thing. Like, let's start with the iPhone 7, for example. The iPhone 7 is basically an iPhone 6. No, the iPhone 7 is basically a refurbished iPhone 6 without a headphone jack, and has this obnoxious, unpressable home button. Like, the LP said I shouldn't talk about that, but this video is just going to be incomplete without me saying that. And then we have the iPhone 8, which is also an iPhone 7 with a high price tag and a glass back. Still has the obnoxious unpressable home button. They just can't do without that, right? And then we come to the iPhone 10. Now it's the iPhone 8 without the unpressable home button. Now just taking that away. They did something there, but they actually didn't really do anything. And we come to 2019 11, the one with a lot of pros in it. We'll talk about that later. So if you notice, the iPhone started getting heavier and useless from the iPhone 7. Like, Apple started raining the iPhones for everybody when they took out the headphone jack and had an unpressable home button down there. Let's talk about the buttons. Like, the purpose of the button has failed, and except it's a clothes button, every button should be pressed. But no, not the iPhones. Like, do you know how satisfying it is to press a button that actually presses, even if it does nothing when you press it? Like, your entire body just feels this rush of satisfaction. But no, you just get the direct opposite when there's a button that you can't even push or press. What's this when there's no button at all on the screen? That straight up just sucks. I'm talking about UX and your knockoff 11. So talking about the headphone jack, you might ask yourself, why the hell would I want a headphone jack when there's lots of wireless headphones now? Like, it's a thing now. Here's why you should be worried. Like, wireless headphones need to be charged or they'll run out of power. So you have one more thing to be worried about now. In addition to hustling for yourself or your family, if you've got one or if you would ever get one, look at how miserable your life is beginning to be with that iPhone 11 in your hands. Also, wireless headphones can short out, but regular headphones don't do any of that. Also, they don't need any of the setup that wireless headphones require. You just plug it in and you're done. Apple knows we're sheep and will buy whatever it is they produce, even if it's a doorknob with the Apple logo on it. Let's talk about cameras. Now, cameras on an iPhone now is not a thing anymore. That actually ended on the iPhone 7. Specifically, intentionally mentioned the iPhone 7 because the 6S doesn't have the portrait or whatever it is. Because to me, the 7 is just as shitty as the 11. So, and because of every consumer can get whatever he or she wants from a camera, be it portrait and all that. Camera isn't actually that more of a news again. Because 3 cameras actually doesn't really count. If you need a better camera than that of the 7, you should just get yourself a DSLR. The Google Pixel still has just 1 camera, and it's still comparable to a lot of those others with 3 or 4, even 5 cameras. Yeah, 5. Check out this video above for more on that. Okay, so cameras and smartphones have exceeded what most people need. Like, the iPhone 6S has a very good camera, and I think that's enough of a good camera by Apple, because I can take good photos of me, I can take a photo of my friend. Yes, I have just one friend because 2 is a crowd, and also a photo of me and my friend. So there you go. So let's talk about the iPhone 11. So just a few days ago, Apple released the iPhone 11, or whatever they want to call the copy of the iPhone X. And everything they announced, they say is new. Like, what is new for Apple is actually not new at all. The majority of features come from history. Like, how can this be the future of smartphones when technically it's the past? Like, just name any feature in the iPhone 11 or Pro or Pro Max that makes it substantially better than the X or XS or XS Max. It's just not worth your hard-earned money. Like, Ghanaians, please, you're not even making a lot already. Don't waste it all on this no button, no headphone jack piece of all-round steel. The iPhone 11 series introduces no new feature at all, as all the features have already been introduced, some a year ago by different brands. You talk about 18-watt fast charge. Huawei introduced that last year, but no, it wasn't fast charge and it wasn't 18 watts. They took it to a different level. They introduced 40 watts supercharged. It's all about 2 times zoom. The Huawei P30 Pro had 50 times zoom. You can take pictures of the moon. You can catch your cheating wife with the Huawei P30 Pro. Apple just gives no reason to go for the iPhone 11 as there's no significant improvement in it as compared to last year's 10 series. The camera is the same because Ghanaians don't even care about the shitty telephoto lens. Apple could have easily just replaced the iPhone 7's camera on all the iPhones after it, and most users wouldn't even realize that. Why? Because they're just cheap. You should know this by now. Last year's 10 series come with iOS 12, but is that really a problem? You could upgrade it now. The screen sizes are pretty much the same, the storage sizes are the same, video capture is the same, they're shooting 4K, Face ID, and there's no headphone jack for both phones. Who cares about water resistance? Ghanaians still don't really trust that, right? So everything is just pretty much the same. Wireless charging, come on, I would like to use my phone whilst I charge it. So if I have to put it down somewhere and just watch it like an alarm clock for some time before it charges up to some percentage, I don't want that. Faster processor. What does fast actually mean now? Because we don't really see a difference between the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 11. Come on, is this significant? You tell me, okay? So, the 7 is doing just fine in terms of speed. So the biggest difference between the 10 series and then the 11 series is the price. I'm sure everybody got this by now. Okay, this is a rant. You can say whatever you want to say in the comments, but hey, who gives a shit about that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Stay safe.